This is the greatest movie I've ever seen. Now, I'm willing to bet you've seen Velvet Buzzsaw on Netflix. Can you recount the amount of times you were legitimately frightened? Go ahead and count it on your fingers. Okay, you got it yet? Now hold that amount of fingers and jam your eyes with that. Congratulations! You don't have anything to jam your eyes with! Because this movie wasn't scary. This movie fails at everything it was trying to do. It's like a popcorn slasher flick, except there's no slasher and there's no feeling of fear or intense moments. The director, Dan Gilroy, made a fantastic movie in Nightcrawler. So how did he fuck this up? Before I get ahead of myself, let's talk about the movie first. The movie starts with Jake Gyllenhaal critiquing artworks, then this lady finding out she got cheated on, then purple suit guy looking at this piece with Jake Gyllenhaal, then blonde woman looking at art with Jake Gyllenhaal, then girl who got cheated on gets disrespected by the maintenance guy, then the owner of a big company or whatever looks at art with Jake Gyllenhaal. So many characters were introduced in just that one scene. I mean, it's not hard to follow, but it's certainly a lot to take in, especially in an opening scene, which was boring by the way. We transition over to this party where two more characters are introduced. Random art dude and artsy old man. Purple suit guy and important lady are both trying to get these two to display their art in the gallery. Whatever, this movie's off to a boring start. You've got Jake Gyllenhaal in your movie and you couldn't have the opening be mostly with him? We don't care about these other characters. Gyllenhaal's character has a boyfriend, but he's been very attracted to a lady who got cheated on. Who cares? Oh, and she finds a dead body. Am I moving a bit fast here? Well, that's exactly how the movie is. The pacing is way too fast. And look at this Oscar-worthy reaction.
Is he alright?
Call 911.
Too bad this movie came out too late. We cut to the maintenance guy awkwardly hitting on the cute girl.
You know, I did Bandini's Fruit Loop Hippo, you know that?
Right.
But I get us tickets if you want. They know me there.
Then lady who got cheated on gets demoted at work. Again, who cares? So she goes home after work and checks her mail, and there's this guy there who's supposed to be moving the dead body stuff out. He's basically like, oh, the old man that died up there? Yeah, he's an artist. I'm gonna throw all his art away. It'd sure be convenient if someone involved in art lived in this building too. Bibbidi bobbidi boo. Why are you telling her this? She's in her PJs trying to check her mail. Leave her alone. So girl who got cheated on, wait, this is too long to say. Let me just look up her name.
Josephina.
Okay. So Josephina gets curious and checks the dead guy's apartment for some reason. The door isn't even locked. Why isn't it locked? They're supposed to keep people out to prevent theft, which is exactly what Josephina engages in. She looks around and... oh wow, a cat. Very scary. After stealing the dead guy's art, she shows it to Jake Gyllenhaal. Oh look, he has CG eyes. Fast forward a little bit. Random art dude sends his representative to important lady's workplace and tells her stuff and she gets mad, whatever. But then she takes out her frustration on the cute girl and fires her? What? She isn't a security guard, you can't fire her for that. Hey, Miss Receptionist, could you wrestle this enormous man out of our building to keep us safe? No, he'll chokeslam me. Oh, bamboozled once again. So cute girl goes to cry, Josephina tries to comfort her, but it doesn't work. When Josephina goes back to her desk, maintenance guy is there looking at the paintings she stole. Man, this is a shit workplace, isn't it? She goes home again, an important lady pays her a visit for no reason, I guess. Oh, actually, she's there to find the stolen paintings and threaten as well as bribe Josephina. That's what you get for letting people into your house full of stolen paintings. Jake Gyllenhaal narrates through a montage out of nowhere. When did he become the narrator? He and Josephina do the do again and she tells him to leave a bad review for her ex. So he does, and these two women say that his review was in poor taste. Wow, he got drunk and risked his life for no reason over a review?
Ricky got drunk and crashed his car last night. He's in a coma.
I heard he was crushed.
By the car?
Your review, Arschloch.
What the fuck was that? What a pussy. So 40 minutes in, we finally reached the first scary event to occur, I guess. Scary in quotes. Can you hear me doing the air quotes with my fingers? No? Okay, let's just keep going. So the maintenance guy has to deliver the paintings somewhere to drive the price up or whatever. He doesn't know this, of course. However, he opens up the boxes and finds out that they're paintings. How did he get hired if he's this bad at delivering stuff? He drives the paintings and puts some in the front seat so he can look at them and decides that it would be a perfect time to smoke a cigarette. Seriously, how did this guy get hired? What a dumbass. Oh, and look at this. Oh, so scary. So he catches fire because he's an idiot and... oh, look what happened. He goes into the garage and gets wrecked by a painting. Is this a horror movie or a commentary on natural selection? A whole bunch of boring, pointless stuff happens and then Jake Gyllenhaal gets jump scared by a security guard. He wants to find info on the dead guy, but only gets a business card with a private investigator's phone number on it. Then we get introduced to the private investigator, who sounds like he's reading straight off the script.
They didn't kill him right away, though. He dragged it out for days, torturing him, then burning him alive.
Cop.
He basically finds more info about the dead guy and that's it. So we reach the second scary event of the movie. Purple suit guy is about to get his Adam's apple handed to him. He gets trapped in a psychological dream, right? There's only one way to go and he tries to leave but can't, so he calls for help. At least he isn't stupid. Oh my goodness, so scary. The light starts flickering and the purple suit guy is like, oh, I should fix that. Not like I'm trying to escape a psychological dream or anything. And then he gets hung by his Adam's apple, as if no one saw this coming. Cute girl comes in bringing a bunch of coffee. Oh, she's gonna drop it. She's gonna drop the drinks. Ah, there it is. It's accompanied by a jump scare sound for some reason. Who edited this movie? We cut to Purple Suit Guy's funeral and...
That casket, what color is that? Smog orange? They buy it on sale?
this is a funeral, Jake. Stop it. And then just check out this terrific acting by these two.
Of course. I am just such a huge fan of your work.
Thank you.
I do the Dees collection.
It's otherworldly.
Cop.
Skipping forward, there's apparently rumors going around that Jake Gyllenhaal is still with his boyfriend. Well, ex-boyfriend now. He talks to the blonde lady who spread the rumors that he was still together with his ex. He gets mad and... is this a comedy? Also, Josephina's hanging out with the random art dude. Who cares? Jake Gyllenhaal visits the painting analyzer and she tells him the dead guy made his paintings with his blood.
Tissue is in blood serum.
Are you scared yet? So now we reach the third scary event with the blonde lady. She approaches the sphere thing where you're supposed to stick your arm in. She sticks her hand in it and dies. If you didn't see that coming, you must be 5 years old. Josephina breaks the news to important lady and says that the museum is trending. I don't care anymore. Jake Gyllenhaal stops by to grieve blonde lady. Random art guy is there and she says,
You have to leave. You just can't just walk in like this.
Oh, I need to...
what? You let him in, you dumb bitch. If you wanted him out so bad, you could have just spoken to him in the hallway. Because Josephina let him in, Jake Gyllenhaal finds out that she's been seeing random art dude. I guess they're over now. And just look at this. What the fuck was that? Jake Gyllenhaal finally loses it and talks to the important lady about these unexplained deaths.
And a denier of childish belief. But something truly goddamn strange is going on!
I swear Jake Gyllenhaal is the only good thing about this movie. He tells her to stop selling the dead guy's paintings. Of course, she doesn't. So Josephina and Jake Gyllenhaal are next to get diddled, and the painting just shows up on her phone? Okay. If you swipe your phone like that, you honestly deserve to die. Jake Gyllenhaal is confronted by the robot thing. Okay, let me just say this. This thing is honestly kind of scary. However, the movie is so poorly directed and so poorly edited that the scenes with the robot end up not being scary. More on that later. Jake Gyllenhaal actually gets murdered by the robot and Josephina just spills paint on herself or something, whatever. An important lady gets got and movie ends with artsy old guy drawing in the sand. Wow, what a great ending. At least cute girl got to live. This movie really failed at writing a compelling story. None of the characters really brought anything to the movie. It's like they were just there to die. The whole theme of the movie was that people shouldn't buy art just to possess it. They need to appreciate it and shouldn't obsess with owning art for the sake of status or prestige. At least that's what I got from it. And it makes sense because whoever profited off the paintings in the movie ended up dying.
It's Deese's art. I think any of us who profited from it are in danger.
Up until Jake Gyllenhaal was murdered anyway, even though he finally understood and started getting rid of the paintings. Also, Important Lady got murdered too, even though she got rid of everything. Even when people learned their lesson, they died anyway. Good job undercutting your theme, Dan. This should be short, because there's so many damn characters. Everybody's purpose is either to die or not do anything. They bring nothing substantial to the movie. The only one who does something is Jake Gyllenhaal. He does a bunch of research and even does some investigation, which leads him to figuring out that the paintings are behind these deaths. Josephina steals paintings, Important Lady sells paintings, Maintenance Guy does maintenance, Cute Girl finds dead bodies, Artsy Old Guy makes it rain from downtown, Random Art Guy literally does nothing, Purple Suit Guy points his Adam's apple at everyone, and the Blonde Lady runs the museum. There, section over. The dialogue is pretty bad. None of it sounds natural or realistic, nor does it make sense.
Well, move Banyo's horse penis or the jeweled vagina. Put one inside the other for all I care.
They didn't kill him right away, though. He dragged it out for days, torturing him, then burning him alive.
What is with that cheesy organ music?
I am just such a huge fan of your work.
Thank you.
I do the Deese collection.
It's otherworldly.
Those are the facts.
The acting is meh. It averages out to meh. Everyone in the movie is pretty average, except for two standouts, and that's Jake Gyllenhaal and the actor who played Josephina. Let's start with her. She is just awful in this movie.
Last night at a bar.
What?
Is he all right?
Call 911. You have to leave. You just can't just walk in like this.
Oh, I need to...
I am just such a huge fan of your work.
Thank you.
I don't know if it was the script or the director, but she ended up being very poor, which is terrible because she's one of the main characters in the movie. But then there's our Lord and Savior, Jake Gyllenhaal. He isn't great, but he's still the best out of all the others. He just does such a good job of playing an art critic.
Your skin. It's the most beautiful cross between almond and saddle brown.
I've had a sick dress.
The sofa's completely too small for the ceiling height. It swims in here.
I dilated your eyes, so you have to wear these for a few hours.
These are heinous.
It's so believable. He's good, but he's also held back by the movie's overall crappiness. Okay, so now, how does this movie fail at horror? Let me tell you why. The editing really does play a part in this. There will be scenes where you can't see what's going on because there's so many cuts, and even near the end where there's a chance that 3 people could get killed at the same time, the tension is totally lost when it cuts back and forth. How are we supposed to be grounded in the moment? When Jake Gyllenhaal is being pursued by the robot, it's actually kinda scary. But again, the editing cuts the tension. Don't get me wrong, it's still effective, but not as much as it could have been. Just imagine how much more terrifying the scene would be if there was no music playing, and also we weren't cutting to other characters. If it was just us, Jake Gyllenhaal, and this robot in a dark hallway, can you imagine the tension? We, the audience, are staring at the robot with Jake Gyllenhaal in a dark, silent, and claustrophobic area. Whatever fear he feels, we're gonna feel it too. But the audience is taken out of the moment when the music starts playing in the background. Jake Gyllenhaal doesn't hear this music. Jake Gyllenhaal isn't taken away to another scene to watch Josephina or Important Lady die. No, he's grounded in this situation with nothing except the clothes on his back and glasses on his face to defend himself from the robot that may or may not want to murk him. Let's look at Dan's other movie, Nightcrawler, also starring Jake Gyllenhaal. Just listen to this scene. What do you hear? Music in the background and people chattering. That's perfectly fine because it's ambient noise and it's what grounds the audience into a scene. They're in a real place. No cutting to other scenes, no soundtrack at all. There's nowhere to escape except into Jake Gyllenhaal's eyes. The lady and the audience is forced to confront Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jesus Christ, friends don't pressure friends to fucking sleep with them.
Actually, that's not true, Nina. Because as I'm sure you know, a friend is a gift you give yourself.
Now, Nightcrawler is not a horror movie, yet he is scarier than anything that happens in Velvet Buzzsaw. Being scared has nothing to do with jump scares. Those are cheap and lazy options and should never be used in a horror movie. What should be used is immersion, grounding, minimum camera cuts, close-up shots, little sound. Make the scenes as intense as possible, because fear is fearing that you're going to be scared. Velvet Buzzsaw does none of that. Its tone is that of a comedy sometimes. The artificial sound is immersion breaking, the acting is terrible, the kills are even terrible, and the editing kills any intensity. This is why Velvet Buzzsaw fails at being a horror movie. It simply isn't scary.